Hello. So, now that we have proven the Pythagorean theorem, let's use it in an example. So, the Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where a and b are the legs of a right triangle. So we have some right triangle, a is one leg, b is another, and c is our hypotenuse. Now, the values you use for a and b really don't matter, because addition, it doesn't matter the order in which you add the two numbers. Whatever you add together will be the same. However, it does matter what you pick for c, and you must remember that c is the hypotenuse, which is always across from the right angle, opposite side to the right angle in your triangle. So now let's look at the problem it gives us. Find the missing sides in the triangle below. BC is our missing side. So that could be, we could use that as x, or you could use A and B if you want to exactly fit the theorem. It doesn't matter. However, what does matter is I know that 8 is a leg, and 8 times the square root of 2 is the hypotenuse, since it is across from the right angle. So this would be like my C value. Therefore, if we go with the Pythagorean theorem, I'm going to have, we could call this a squared, which is 8 squared, plus the length of BC squared, so x squared, equals 8 times the square root of 2 squared. Now from here, it's just a simple problem of algebra. 8 squared is 64. Plus x squared is going to stay the same. Equals, well, hopefully you remember from algebra that if you have an exponent outside the parentheses, it gets distributed to each value. So I'm going to distribute the exponent to 8. We have 8 squared, which is 64, times the value of square root of 2 squared. Well, the square root is the opposite of squaring something, so they basically cancel each other out. So all you're left with is 2. Now, from there, we have that 64 plus x squared is equal to 2 times 64 is 128. And then I'm trying to get x by itself. Subtract 64 from both sides. And you'll get x squared is equal to 64. Now, to get x by itself, because that's what I'm looking for, I don't want x squared, I want just x. You would take, as I said before, the square root would cancel out the square. So you take the square root on both sides and get x equals 8. Therefore, that is your missing side, BC.